So when in the verse 54, when the king brought him back to or brought him out of the prison, he offered him this position, and few words he says, Hafizun Alim. قال جعلني على خزائن الأرض إني حفيظ عليم. He said, make me the caretaker of the treasures of the ground or the earth, means the minister of the food and services. And I am Hafiz and Alim. I am protector or knowledgeable, and indeed I am a keeper. And this is the important thing to understand. Hafiz is one of the attributic name of Allah. Alim is the attributic name of Allah. So a man who is a prophet of God can use these attributes, but Al-Hafiz is Allah, Al-Alim is Allah, Hafiz is a man, Alim is a man, or non-Ghair Allah or non-godly person can be also called this name. Hafiz is a protector, Alim is a knowledgeable. So we should be very mindful of some people interpret that this is shirk and bid'ah. Those I can just only say very ignorant people who have no idea what they're doing. They're just making Muslims believe that they are doing some kind of a sin. But these illiterate, I call them illiterate idiots, who are trying to confuse Muslims from these things and attack on innocent Muslim that, oh, you are making shirk. Actually, they are the one who are people of shirk, because they believe God has a hand, God have a face, God have a feet, God have back, God is tired, he has to sit on a throne. All these things of their belief, which is make them to be doubtful, but never get influenced by those people, please. And often shaitan comes to attack Muslims in a very Islamic appearance way. They will be speaking eloquent Arabic, they will be dressed very nicely, they will be flowing beard and talking nice and Quran and Sunnah, this and that. But when they attack on the creed and say, no, you're doing this as a shirk, anybody who say a Muslim doing shirk is actually a shaitan. Because Muslim Prophet says Muslim cannot do shirk, because otherwise he's not a Muslim or she's not a Muslim. So let's listen to the verse number 54.
وقال الملك ائتوني به أستخلصه لنفسي فلما كلمه قال إنك اليوم لدينا مكين أمين.
The king said, bring him to me, and I shall employ him purely for myself. So, when he, the king, talked to him, he said to Yusuf, today you are with us well placed, fully trusted.
قال جعلني على خزائن الأرض إني حفيظ عليم.
He said, appoint me to supervise the treasures of the land. I am indeed a knowledgeable keeper.
وكذلك مكنا ليوسف في الأرض يتبوأ منها حيث يشاء نصيب برحمتنا من نشاء ولا نضيع أجر المحسنين.
And thus we gave Yusuf a power in the land. He could settle in it wherever he wished. We extend our mercy to whomsoever we will, and we do not let the reward of the righteous people to go to waste.
وَلَأَجْرُ الْآخِرَةِ خَيْرٌ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَكَانُوا يَتَّقُونَ.
And the reward of the hereafter is surely better for those who believe and constantly observe taqwa.
So verse 54, 55, 56, and 57, we hear that a slave child separated from his beloved family, prophet, son of a prophet, was brought to the worst part to be in the prison, and being an honorable man, never did anything wrong. And now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَكَذَلِكَ مَكَّنَّا لِيُوسُفَ فِي الْأَرْضِ. And this is how we gave Yusuf power on the land. The man who was sold as a prisoner and a slave is now the ruler and powerful man in the world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala turns the thing around in a blink of an eye. Nasimu bi rahmatina min nasha. So this is what we extend our mercy to whoever we will. And then wala nudhi'u ajra al-muhsinin, and we never let go the rewards of the righteous people to go to waste. It means it takes time, but it comes. We need to be patient. And man is very impatient by nature. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving a message in this conversation that what he has gone through you can never imagine. And if one of us goes through such experience, we will quickly abandon faith and will run off to the something which we can make, which makes us comfortable, as people seek drugs and alcohol and other forms of abusing drug or substance, because they think they can find peace in it rather than coming to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Which doesn't mean that we should not seek medical help, which means we should take the medical help, because that is from Allah too. So وَلَا أَجْرُ الْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَكَانُوا يَتَّقُونَ. And the rewards of the hereafter is surely better for those who believe and constantly observe the consciousness, or be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's command and the teaching of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing of Allah be upon him and his family and his companion and his followers. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us a lot of things. Now the conversation is about the brothers who abandoned him and who put him into the well, threw him into the well and sold him for the counterfeit currency. Now they are coming, and these are the 10 brothers who are powerful, strong, healthy, and again, children of Prophet. Now, one thing here I want you to see, I was looking into the Christian genealogy from the Torah and Gospel, or the Bible, Old and New Testament. These 10 brothers, beside Yusuf al-Islam and his brother Benjamin or Benjamin, if you see, most of the prophets of children of Israel came from the descendancy of these brothers, not from the Yusuf al-Islam. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even because they were sons of prophets and they were wrong, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them, when they apologized and they realized their mistake, Allah sent prophets and their descendants. Listen to the verse number 58.
وجاء إخوة يوسف فدخلوا عليه فعرفهم وهم له منكرون.
And came the brothers of Yusuf and appeared before him. He recognized them, while they did not recognize him.
ولما جهزهم بجهازهم قال ائتوني بأخ لكم من أبيكم ألا ترون أني أوفي الكيل وأنا خير المنزلين.
When he equipped them with their provisions, he said, "Bring to me your other brother from your father's side. Do you not see that I give full measure, and I extend the best hospitality?"
فإن لم تأتوني به فلا كيل لكم عندي ولا تقربون.
Still, if you do not bring him to me, then you deserve no further measure from me, nor shall you approach me any more.
قالوا سنراود عنه أباه وإنا لفاعلون.
They said, "We shall persuade his father about him, and we will certainly do it."
وقال لفتيانه جعلوا بضاعتهم في رحالهم لعلهم يعرفونها إذا انقلبوا إلى أهلهم لعلهم يرجعون.
And he, Yusuf, said to his boys, "Put their goods in their camel packs. Perhaps they will recognize it when they go back to their family. Perhaps they will come again."
So verse number 62 is telling about something. So when these brothers who came in, just imagine a young brother who was being sold and all that, what we talked about, how wrong they did to this brother. And when he saw them, they could not recognize, because Yusuf al-Islam was a boy at that time. Now they are grown-up men, so he recognized them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes it in the Quran. Now just imagine a feeling if we were in this position, how we would have reacted. These brothers who sold me, this did bad to me, and so forth. We would have actually prisoned them, and we would have started whipping them so as might be taking away their provision. But Yusuf al-Islam showed respect and love and kindness to them. He swallowed his anger or whatever frustration he has as a human. But this is the prophetic character that we should let go of the people who done wrong to us as a blood. And this is why blood is thicker than the water. And we should be nice to our friends and family, because sometime when the family dies, inheritance comes to us. So they're always beneficial for us in the worldly life. And if we do good to them, Allah says that the relation of the womb of mother is the most honorable relation. So anyhow, so he was kind to them. and he gave them full scale, and he gave them the food because he knew his dad and his father and his brother is there. So he recognized that they didn't bring Benjamin with them. So he said, okay, if you bring one more brother with you, which is home, I will give you more for him. And you see, I do give full scale. And then he told his boys, his guards and people, that put their money, because they bought the food from the money. So he said, put the money back in there, so when they will go home and they will find the food and the money back to them for free, he gave them the food for free. So he was so generous with his family. This is how we should be with our family, that when we do a trade with them, we should give them more, or we should return them with extra, so that they will feel being blessed being our family. We often try to compete with our family, and we try to make them look down, or we try to make them feel bad, and this is basically a jealousy, and which is shaitan. Actually, a human enviousness is what? It is a rejection of a God's preference of somebody over other. Because if somebody is doing better, my brother's doing better than me, or sister doing better than me, it means I'm jealous. Why? Because God made them better than me. But whatever I am, there are somebody's below us. So Prophet says, compare yourself with the people below you, not with the one ahead of you in the worldly benefit, because this is nothing. It is short-lived. So what is going to be with us is going to be what is hereafter. So we need to be always good. Now, let me start with the verse number 63 now, because when he returned them the money as well as the food for nothing, so when they went home, and this is the conversation, this is happening between Yaqub alayhi salam and the 10 brothers of Yusuf alayhi salam.
وقال لفتيانه جعلوا بضاعتهم في رحالهم لعلهم يعرفونها إذا انقلبوا إلى أهلهم لعلهم يرجعون.
And he, Yusuf, said to his boys, put their goods in their camel packs. Perhaps they will recognize it when they go back to their family. Perhaps they will come again.
فلما رجعوا إلى أبيهم قالوا يا أبانا منع منا الكيل فأرسل معنا أخانا نكتل وإنا له لحافظون.
So, when they returned to their father, they said, Father, their required measure of grain has been withheld from us. Therefore, send our brother with us, so that we may receive our full measure. And, of course, we are his guards.
قال هل آمنكم عليه إلا كما أمنتكم على أخيه من قبل فالله خير حافظا وهو أرحم الراحمين.
He said, Shall I trust you about him as I trusted you earlier about his brother? Well, Allah is the best guardian, and he is the most merciful of all the merciful.
ولما فتحوا متاعهم وجدوا بضاعتهم ردت إليهم قالوا يا أبانا ما نبغي هذه بضاعتنا ردت إلينا ونمير أهلنا ونحفظ أخانا ونزداد كيل بعير ذلك كيل يسير.
When they opened their baggage, they found their goods given back to them. They said, Our father, what else should we want? Here is our goods given back to us, and we shall bring food to our family, protect our brother, and add the measure of 1 camel more. That is an easy measure.
قال لن أرسله معكم حتى تؤتون موثقا من الله لتأتونني به إلا أن يحاط بكم فلما آتوه موثقهم قال الله على ما نقول وكيل.
He said, I shall never send him with you until you give me a pledge in the name of Allah, that you will definitely bring him back to me, unless you are overpowered by circumstances. So, when they gave him their pledge, he said, Allah is watchful over what we say.
وقال يا بني لا تدخلوا من باب واحد وادخلوا من أبواب متفرقة وما أغني عنكم من الله من شيء إن الحكم إلا لله عليه توكلت وعليه فليتوكل المتوكلون.
And he said, O my sons, do not enter the city, all of you from the same gate, rather, enter from different gates. And I cannot help you in any way against the will of Allah. Sovereignty belongs to none but Allah. In him I place my trust, and all those who trust should trust in him alone.
ولما دخلوا من حيث أمرهم أبوهم ما كان يغني عنهم من الله من شيء إلا حاجة في نفس يعقوب قضاها وإنه لذو علم لما علمناه ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون.
And recall, when they entered the city, in the manner their father had advised them, he could not help them in any way against the will of Allah, but it was just an urge in the heart of Yaqub which he satisfied. He was a man of knowledge, because we had taught him, but most of the people do not know.
So up to verse 68, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing what conversation happened after when these brothers came home. They asked for Binyamin to be allowed to go with them, and Yaqub alayhi salam said, I trusted you about his brother Yusuf, and what did you do? I am not going to let him go with you. So he refused. But then they convinced him and they insisted upon him, and they show him that the money is returned and the food is given full scale. So Yaqub alayhi salam said to them, make an oath on the name of Allah, and then I will let you take him. And he knew, and he says, my advice is that do not enter with the one door, all of you enter with a different door, so that something will not happen. What is this? A wisdom Allah taught to Yaqub alayhi salam, their father, who was an elderly man. And when they entered from separate doors, they found that there was a blessing. Accordingly, why would do that? A scholar have an explanation. Allah have given him the knowledge and wisdom, which was to protect them. It is possible that had they entered from one door, the guards may have stopped them or put them all into incarceration, or something wrong may have happened, or with the number of them, they might have gone through some phase of hardship. So he said, go individually from each door. If one cannot enter, the other one will enter. So this may be a physical logic which we can understand. The other logic was that the bad or evil eye, or evil nazar, what is known, that they will not be coming in nazar or of the vision of people, that okay, there's a powerful family coming with the 11 boys together with needing more food, and somebody would have taken a notice of it, and that might sometimes become problem. As we know, in America, some of the politicians, when they see the immigration happening from those people from certain country, and they think that we should stop them because there are too many people are coming. And so I think this may be one of the wisdom of it, that people who come in one and two, the people don't notice, but when they come in flocks, the people notice. So I think that may have been one of the logic behind it. So now what is happening here is when they all enter into the place and came to Yusuf alayhi salam, Yusuf alayhi salam already had a plan. So what plan was that he set up 5 trays, and each one was supposed to, 2 people should sit on each tray to eat together. So Binyamin was a younger brother, but even though they don't care for him, but they brought him because Yusuf alayhi salam, without them knowing that he is their 12th brother. So Yusuf alayhi salam knew what he was going to do. So what he did was he was trying to observe how they behave with Benjamin. So when they sat down, 2 each one grabbed the seats, and the 5th tray was left alone without a pair. So Benjamin kind of felt a little overwhelmed and cried, or some emotional feeling that they left me alone. Nobody cared to offer me a seat, as he was the baby brother. So Yusuf alayhi salam actually has set his tray with himself. So he said, how about if I become your brother and I am your brother, but don't tell them. So he wanted to sit and eat with Benjamin, but he did it very wisely. When you sit on the table, try to sit with those who you care for, but do not forget those who you don't very much love. This is kind of a telling of how family should behave. Rather than being a stepbrother, they were so mean to him that they even have not changed their ways, even though they thought that Yusuf is dead, na'uzubillah. But Yusuf al-Islam is now a minister and a very powerful man in Egypt, where they become the beggars, basically seeking for food. So this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala turns the things around, and we as a Muslim should be wise and be careful about it. Let's listen to the verse number 69.